On last week's episode, we were in McCormick, South Carolina, looking for the Long Cane massacre site, and we stumbled across this church.
With origins dating back to 1771, Long Cane Associated Reformed Presbyterian Church was one of several fostered before the American Revolution by Thomas Clark, who had immigrated from Ireland in 1764 along with 100 other families. In 1782, Dr. Clark would move back to the area and would become minister to that church along with Little Run and Cedar Creek until he moved up north. He returned to the area after the American Revolution and stayed until his death in 1792. The current building which you see here is 44 foot by 64 foot with a 10-foot porch and was constructed by William Henry Jones of Atlanta and dedicated on July 20th, 1856.
And a really interesting fact, they still have services every Sunday at 10 a.m. Just note, they do not have air conditioner, so during the summertime, dress accordingly.
Cemetery is the final resting place to over 500. Also, many of the charter members are buried here. The cemetery, as well as the building, was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1999.
Man, look at the ornamentation on this one right here. This is probably the most ornamental one I've ever seen.
We found it interesting that on this row, every other headstone was leaning the opposite direction. This particular marker reads, "Among these unmarked graves, John Stewart and family."
So now we had an answer to why there were so many fieldstone markers, more than we've ever seen in any other cemetery.
They're just all over the place, dozens and dozens.
The building is 2 stories in height with an open ceiling inside. It rests on handmade bricks, and if you can see here, my pointing's a little bit off, but you can see where it's starting to sag just a little bit.
Every time we go to a cemetery, we try to find one that sticks out to us. Today, it was that of James Doughton's, and his monument reads, "Leaves have their time to fall and flowers to wither at the north wind's breath, and stars to set, but all thou hast all seasons for thine own, O death."